Right, so the breaking news story, I've been attending the All-Stars game in Domahinkru where Jordan Ayew and Dede Ayew and a couple of Black Stars players honored a historic visit to Brongahafo region, my own region, Domahinkru. And then driving and seeing this story of Thomas Partey being offered to Saudi Arabian clubs by Arsenal and 200 million US dollars offered by Saudi Arabian clubs, including Al Ahli and Al Nassr. There is also a third club, Al Khaleej, as reported by former Ghana Football Association Communications Director Ibrahim Sani Dara. And it baffles me in a way because Thomas Partey has been Arsenal's standout player, the best or one of the best defensive midfielders in the league, maybe on the same category with likes of Casemiro and Rodri of Manchester City. So I don't know why Arsenal would want to part away with Thomas Partey, but the amount of money that's been quoted it's quite, bewildering. It is shocking, and I believe that even though Juventus and other clubs are interested, how many Ghanaians will want to advise Thomas Partey, knowing where he comes from, knowing the region that he's in, and he's past 30, right? So if you are at this age an African player, knowing that your career is very short, the lifespan of a player, you may not be able to play for more than 4 active years. So thinking, if I'm Thomas Partey, am I going to accept this deal to move to Saudi Arabia, 200 million, and you have 100 million of tax-free as an amount of money that will come to you directly? So they've offered Arsenal an amount of 200 million for Partey, and Partey himself will have 100 million tax-free at the end of every year. Are you going to move to Juve or a top European club and prove your mettle and show to the fans that you are one of the best defensive midfielders? Perhaps his ambition is to win the African Best Player one day. Perhaps he wants to be very active and competitive and still earn his place in the Black Stars and want to be the next captain after he's the next captain after Andre Ayew, so he would want to stay up and keep the momentum. Or you would want to choose Saudi Arabia and then make money, come back to Ghana, invest heavily and secure your future. So I'm sure that he himself is in a situation of dilemma. What do you do? Do you stay in Europe and then compete actively, play in the Champions League, play in the Europa League, or you want to move to Saudi Arabia? Will be a very difficult decision for Thomas Partey to take, to be very honest. But then it will also not be a very difficult situation if you are an agent for Thomas Partey, knowing that from the continent you come from, things are a bit messy, one injury, and knowing Thomas Partey is been suffering some sort of shocking and surprising injuries in recent years, and so you don't know when the next injury will strike. 100 million. I'm driving on this road, as you can see, from Sunyani to Accra, and seeing that one of you will be offered 100 million. This is an amount of money that your country, Ghana, goes to another country to borrow just for construction of roads, just for building of schools. And if an individual is to scoop 100 million at the end of every year, how many players in this world? It will make him one of the highest paid footballers in Africa ever. So if you were Thomas Partey, are you going to follow the likes of Karim Benzema, who's won the Ballon d'Or? Are you going to wait with Golo Conte? Eduardo Mendy is moving there, and Javi moved there. So many players moved. So the attention has shifted away from China, shifted away from Japan, and now moving back to the Gulf. This amount of money is too difficult to refuse. This amount of money will make Thomas Partey so confused. You understand? Trying to rhyme. Too difficult to refuse, and it will definitely make you confused. If you are a player and your family knows that you have been offered an amount of $100 million at the end of every year, tax-free, plus other incentives. You know, this Saudi Arabia, there was one footballer who was not even a top star at this point, not a regular at the Black Stars, telling me that he was offered a deal in Saudi Arabia that amounted to about $3 million a year. I'm not sure $1 million in Ghana as a footballer or even as a businessman. I mean, your life will transform essentially, and nothing in this world, if you continue to play for 3 to 4 years, earning around $15 million, and you are a bit frugal, you'll be able to invest massively and recoup your investment in some short years and live on, I mean, hand to mouth. So if a player who was not a regular at the Black Stars was offered $3 million or so to move to Saudi Arabia, and they gave him as many as 7 tickets twice every year to move his family back and then return tickets, he was offered a whole lot of luxuries and incentives, cars, and it's very difficult to even quantify the other allowances and incentives that he was given. So I don't know for you, but if I am Thomas Partey, I'm going to sit down for 1 or 2 days to think about my health, think about my life, think about everything that is possible for me to assess my life and know what I want to do. So it's very confusing, because the amount of money that Thomas Partey will make will basically not only transform his life, but if he wants, can transform his entire generations. Like I said, if he wants to be frugal, and I mean, he has investment advice. 100 million is no I mean, a joke for an African footballer, not even those playing at the top clubs in Europe. I don't know for you, but it's a question that I'm asking, that if you had a player of Thomas Partey's caliber and age and health-wise moving to Arsenal, he has offers from Juventus where he will be guaranteed a trophy at the end of the season, so that he has medals in his, I mean, medal cabinet or trophy cabinet at the end of his playing career, where he will be primed for the Black Stars captaincy, where he will be highly rated because he plays in Juve or a top club. I mean, not only Juve, there are so many clubs that are after him. How are you going to make this decision? Are you going to allow him to play for 1, 2 more seasons in Europe just so he can increase his value? By so doing, also increasing his age, which will in a way decrease his value. Or you are going to take this offer from Saudi Arabia that is over 100 million every year and make him move out of Europe and finish his last 2 careers or last 2 years in Saudi Arabia. Let's say Andre Ayew went there and came back to Nottingham Forest. Would that be the situation for Thomas Partey to make 100 million, secure his future forever, and move back to Europe? Would he get the strength at age 31 or 32 and still play at that level that he used to? So it's a very dicey situation for him. But like I'm saying, because of my situation, and I'm not a footballer, I will not even think twice to pick the Saudi Arabian deal. But then of course, Thomas Partey will have advices, but it's very big, very, very massive offer for him. I don't know for you, but where do you think that Thomas Partey's mind will be? What will he be thinking about now? To move to Saudi Arabia and make money, or stay 1, 2, 3 years in Italy, or move to Spain back, or stay in even England and choose another club, play competitively, make a name for himself, and then be in line for the African best player one day? The guess is as good as, I mean, mine. Yours is as good as mine. I don't know what you think, but I believe that if I went to Thomas Partey, 100 million, I'll be gone tomorrow. Thank you.